Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Feminine Rising podcast with your hostess, Amber Moreno, and I am Amber. Welcome back. This is part 2 of walking away from Christianity and walking into my authenticity. If you caught me on the previous podcast, part 1, I talked a lot about my story as far as what that looked like in my journey of Christianity. And I explained a little bit why I'm not there anymore. I explained some of my opinions on it. And again, it's not to send hate towards a group of people. It's just my realizations that I had and realizing that I'm an individual and I need to honor that. I'm not somebody that is a collective channel and tribal and let's band together. Like, yes, there are times that I believe we do need that, but I believe a lot of our power is within our individuality. And that's kind of why I left, because it felt like it was just getting stripped away. It was almost like we have to mold these people into this certain way. And I understand, again, organized religion has its purpose. It serves its purpose for those. And I'm not trying to take that away, but this is just my story. And so today in part 2, I'm going to share this wild year I have had. And so me and my husband have officially left the church my birthday of last year. So 33 was kind of an interesting year for sure. I learned a lot about different truths, occult truths, if you will. Just everything. I learned so much about plants. I learned about different plant medicines. I learned about the way that a lot of the Amazonians do things, which I always love learning about different cultures. It's always something that's intriguing to me because I love to honor them in the way that they like to receive respect, right? And it's just been really fun and learning to love myself, accept the flaws that I have, change the things that I can change, right? Accept the things you cannot. And just really loving this life that I was given and that I chose. And I think we forget that when we come here, that we chose this life. Like, we decided to be birthed through the mothers that we came through. And I know that that's a hard reality to sit with sometimes, but that's the reality of what it is. A lot of this year, I've been questioning why I even chose my own family, my birth family. And the biggest thing that has always come up is, well, what do I blame them for teaching me? Right? Because they weren't the most stable people. They weren't financially reliable. I mean, they were figuring it out as they went along, just like everybody else, right? But I chose to learn these lessons with them. I chose to love my parents the way that I love them. I chose them knowing that they couldn't love me the way that I needed to be loved. And this was all part of my big life learning lesson that I have obtained over this past year of my life, which is crazy to even think about how much has just changed. And like, I'm living in a house now, which is crazy because even a year ago, I was like, is it going to happen? Like, I don't know. I was living in a shitty apartment up in Scottsdale, which I love Scottsdale. I can't wait to buy property there. But, it was just such a different life. And then, like I was saying, we were involved in the church. I didn't bring it up in the part 1, but we were leading people in a Bible study, me and my husband. And then we both woke up and realized we can't do this anymore. It's not in alignment with who we are. And we realized it was because we are gifted leaders, but we weren't being recognized in the proper way of who we came to be and the leaders that we're meant to be, because I'm not even really supposed to truly be like a quote unquote leader. I'm supposed to just guide people around to be like, oh, look at this cool house I saw over here, and this is what I did today. Maybe you might want to try it or not. I'm really big on not telling people what to do because I hate it when people tell me what to do, right? Like, fuck authority. I'm just kidding. Take that out. That is ridiculous. But anyways, I will leave that in there just for you because it is part of my personality and it is what makes me me. And it honestly wasn't until we fully left the Christian church that me and my husband were able to really step into who we are meant to be. Now, obviously, we have sat with plant medicines and, we do a lot of somatic work. Our lifestyles actually have really completely changed, and we laugh about it sometimes because of like how obvious and different it is. Because when me and my husband first met, we had our own wounds to deal with. We were very much trying to fill that emptiness that I was mentioning in the last part 1. And we were still kind of looking for that in each other in a way. And now, and then from going from like bodybuilding and seeking this outside validation constantly, and now switching to these people that are more sovereign in themselves. My husband's more of a leader now. I feel more confident in him being the head of my household. And, I'm sure he has a different faith and trust in me, which is very obvious. Our sex life is very much one of the best times in my life. And I mean, the list goes on. And, we do yoga now. And, it's like a totally 180. Like, who are these people? Like, I play sound bowls and it makes me feel good. My husband does breath work every day and sits with Hape and and we share different ideas and we're just authentic and open. And to have this type of relationship is just so beautiful. But I fully feel that me and him would not have reached that if we never would have left the church. And it does sound bad, but that's our reality. And maybe this is your reality. And if it is, know that there's light on the other side. And I know when you're going through it, it can be really scary. It can be daunting. I remember when I first woke up, as they call it, right? Your spiritual awakening. I was scared shitless. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know, like, if I died tomorrow, where I was going to go. I didn't know what was, I was questioning everything in my life. I was like, am I even supposed to be doing what I'm doing? Like, am I, am I supposed to be living here? All these questions. But slowly, step by step, brave step by step, I might add too, because a lot of the things that I was entering into was very scary. I remember hiding my tarot cards when I started using them because I was nervous that somebody was going to find out. My mom lives like so far away that I don't know how she would find out unless I told her, like little things like that. Or like the fact that I started putting crystals out in my house. I was like nervous, like, oh, what are my Christian friends going to think of this? And some of them did give me looks. And some of them probably think I'm a bruja, but that's totally okay because part of me, I am, and I'm okay with it. And it kind of brought up a memory the other day that I was thinking about when I was a kid. I remember watching on TV, because again, like LA is not a stranger to the spirit realm, right? Like they would have shows like Mickey Mouse and things, like summoning spirits and like all kinds of things. And I thought it was so cool though. Like I thought being a witch was so cool because I liked the fact that not that they could cast spells on people, but just the fact that they could basically do whatever that they wanted, and spells are cool. Like I thought it was so cool. I didn't like that they were usually ugly, but it's cartoon kid stuff. But so in a way, it's kind of funny because now I'm doing what I was supposed to be doing when I was a child. Interessante, just something I noticed. But coming back to walking in my authenticity, I mean, that's part of it, right? I never would have access to that part of me. And to be honest, I'm so thankful for it because I have learned to tap into this God source that I was talking about earlier. I can connect to God at any time. I know that I have guides with me the angels that are protecting me, that were assigned to me here to help me when I need them, to call on them. They're always reminding me. I always joke because I always see 2:31, the time. And every time I see that, I know it's my guides, because the angel number 231 actually represents that your guides are with you, that you're not alone, your ancestors and things, they're with you always. And that is something that's just so beautiful to me, because I don't have the ability to see them. I can hear them sometimes when they talk to me and they can show me things. But I can't, we can't physically see them. That would be, I think I'd get scared and run away and scream and cry for a little bit. But no, but for reals. But coming back to all of this authenticity, you really just have to take little step by little step. It's not a quick fix journey. One of the things with my clients that I feel them, I really do, they want to be fixed like tomorrow. All these problems and things that they don't like about themselves, they want it fixed tomorrow or even yesterday. And I always say to them, my question back to you is, why don't you love that part of you? Why do you want to get there so quickly? Like, what is the truth behind that and the true why? And sometimes it's just because we're either not confident enough in that area, like we have a judgment about it. But typically, it's just we're judging ourselves too harshly because of this old conditioning that we have. And ripping out old conditioning is very similar to reseeding your lawn. If it's full of weeds, it's going to take some time. It's not a quick fix, unfortunately. But that's the beauty of it, because you get to work through and see why life happened the way that it did. And you get to see just the beauty of your life unfold, and that if these certain events never happened, you wouldn't be the person that you are today. And for me in my life, it was experiencing a lot of grief. A lot of that grief was even through the Christian church. It was experiencing what it was like to not be an individual and to run with a pack of people or a group or community, whatever you want to say, and showing me that that's not who I am. I'm not here to infiltrate the current communities and tribes and things that exist. I'm just here to observe and see what's different. How can we adjust this and then attune our individualness, right, to our authenticity, so we're able to help and serve others in our optimal way. And that's all it is. It's really all it is. It's just coming back to who you are, why you're here, and you know why you're here. We just forget. So thank you for listening. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope this brought some enlightenment to you, maybe a little inspiration. Just know that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And that, again, walking into your authenticity, it's not something that's quick, but it is possible. It is very, very possible. And I believe we all should do it. If you liked this podcast, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. That way I know that you enjoy these topics. And I love to hear your feedback. And of course, as always, please do share with a friend if this resonated with you. Tag me on social media. I'm on Instagram at I am Amber Moreno. I don't do TikTok, but I do have TikTok, and it's the same. But find me. Let's connect. Let's reach out. Have a beautiful day. And I'll catch you in the next one.